Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. A teenager at the center of a Brown County reckless homicide case is now the subject of debate over where she's being housed in jail.
16-year-old Sienna Pecor's case is currently before a judge as attorneys argue whether she should be tried in adult court or juvenile court. Ahead of that decision, which won't come for another month, her attorney says she's currently being held with the adult jail population, which she argues is a violation of federal law. Brittany Schmidt brings us the arguments from court this afternoon.
Sienna Pecor was 15 years old when Green Bay investigators say she lost control of her car and hit two vehicles, driving over 100 miles per hour on West Mason Street at the Oneida Street intersection. A passenger, 17-year-old Cruz Beltran, died in the crash last October. Shortly after, the state charged Pecor with multiple felonies, including first-degree reckless homicide. She was placed in a juvenile facility in Marathon County. This year, Pecor's defense attorney Catherine White says she was transferred to the Brown County Jail and held in a youthful offender pod. But within the last 3 weeks, White says she found out Pecor had been moved to a unit with adults. White argues that is a violation of federal law, citing two laws, including PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act.
The law is very clear. PREA specifically prohibits detention of anyone under the age of 18 with adult inmates.
White says it's about protecting Pecor from bodily harm and making sure her educational, behavioral, and rehabilitative needs are met.
I think it's required that her housing situation change immediately, and I would request that it be changed by sending her back to the Marathon County.
Brown County District Attorney David Lassay says there's a distinction within the law that makes Pecor's current housing assignment appropriate.
There's a distinction when you have a juvenile or a person under the age of 17 who's been charged with original jurisdiction in adult court, that person can be housed in the adult jail.
Lassay says this is not the first time the local jail has housed a juvenile. He's confident requirements are being met to ensure Pecor's safety.
With respect to the educational needs, mental health needs, all of those things, my understanding is those are being met.
Brown County Judge John Zakowski says he sees the significance of this issue and will need more time to decide.
If it isn't straightforward and it's a question of discretion, I don't think the court has the ability to tell the sheriff how to house inmates unless they're violating the law. And I guess that's really what I have to determine, is whether there's a violation of federal law.
The judge is expected to have a written decision by next week. A decision on the reverse waiver hearing is expected in November. In Brown County, Brittany Schmidt, Action 2 News.